your patience. It's a good day, so it's a pretty day, so good stuff. All right, zoning, Connecticut. These are the most pressing issues facing our legislator this term. And we need to have our legislators fight for us, fight for local zoning, fight for local control, and for us to have our say when it comes to our land. So today I'm going to introduce two fighters. Stephen Mullins, he's a West Haven TPZ commissioner, former state senate candidate, and a fighter for our beliefs and our values of Connecticut Yankees. Stephen Mullins. And then, of course, our main speaker will be State Rep Kimberly Fiorello of R-Greenwich.
Thank you, Alexis. Can everybody hear me? Yeah. Okay, great. All right, so we all have lots that we can be doing. It is a gorgeous day out. It is early spring. We have yard work we can be doing. We can be out walking the dog. We can be hanging out with our children and grandchildren. It is gorgeous out. But what are we doing here? We're all here gathered on the East Haven Green for a very important matter, that is to fight for our freedom. Our freedoms as individuals, and our freedoms, the freedoms of our 169 independent, self-governing municipalities. What is good in New Haven is not necessarily good in Ridgefield. What is good in Scotland, Connecticut is not necessarily what is good in Wethersfield. What is good in East Haven is not necessarily good in East Haven or Putnam. Did I say East Haven? Whichever one. All right. So having a blanket of control and equal regulations throughout 169 municipalities being controlled by the state of Connecticut is an absolute abuse of power. It is an abuse of power that we are not going to tolerate as people. Every town has its own distinct qualities and its own distinct character. Having a centralized planning and zoning governed by the state of Connecticut is basically the equivalent of your Board of Education being, or your East Haven Board of Education being people who are all from Greenwich, who never come to East Haven, but yet have control of your Board of Education. Having a centralized zoning is the equivalent of having your Board of Selectmen all come from a place far off, and never having to visit your town or your schools nor any of your parks, and having those people that are faceless to you and nameless to you manage the day-to-day operations of your town. Is that acceptable?
No!
If that isn't acceptable, it is not acceptable for the state of Connecticut to be in control of local planning and zoning commissions. I've served on the West Haven Planning and Zoning Commission for 15 years. And since 2006, twice a month, not to mention special meetings, I've had the pleasure, personal pleasure and honor as a public servant of listening to the residents of West Haven come to Planning and Zoning Commission meetings and speak either in favor of or against applications that come before the Planning and Zoning Commission. These are meetings and decisions that will affect their lives and their neighborhoods as soon as the very next day after they're voted on. So this is the example of checks and balances on government that we in New England are accustomed to and have been accustomed to for over 200 years. And we cannot allow the state of Connecticut to take that away from us. What happens, I don't know if you go to planning and zoning meetings, but I can only imagine how they are in your individual towns and comparing how they are in West Haven. I've been at meetings for hours and hours and hours, and there have been some heated meetings, and some of them you can find on YouTube. There have been some crazy ones. Over the past few years, it's been considerably better. However, in those meetings, the residents can work together with the commission and with the applicants. Work together to make something better and something fit for everyone. I've been a personal witness to how applicants can alter some things to fit better and to make the neighbors satisfied. Without local control of our public hearings and local control of planning and zoning, you forfeit that opportunity. And that opportunity is not given to you by any type of government. It is given to you from above. And those are your freedoms. Do not let Hartford stamp and stomp on your freedoms. Fight against this. This is what you're going to do. I'm calling on all of you, regardless of where you are from, to contact your state senators, your state representatives. Find out where they stand on these issues. It's HB 1024, is it? HB 1024. Find out where they stand on that issue and have them come out in public and state their positions and allow you, the citizens, to realize whether or not you should keep that state representative or that state senator. This is important, and I'll end with this. I could be long-winded, I know it, but I'll end with this. Right now, we're talking about planning and zoning and our rights being taken away as individual municipalities. It starts with this. What is it going to be tomorrow? If we fall asleep and let them do this while no one's paying attention because everyone's working from home, dealing with their kids' schools, dealing with all the other issues that have come apart, been part of this whole pandemic. If we allow this to happen while Hartford believes we are asleep, what else do they have planned for us? What other freedoms are they going to take away? So listen up. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Okay. So great to see everyone here. Thank you so much for coming. This is the beginning of a broad statewide movement, and every single one of you who took the time on this Saturday to come out to East Haven, you are superstars. And thank you so much for not being intimidated by one-party rule in our state. Because as much as we say that, one-party rule, I apologize. I'm Kimberly Fiorello, state representative from Greenwich and Stamford, representing District 149. I serve on planning and development, where a lot of these zoning bills are coming forward. And I think you guys also know there are multiple bills, about 12 to 13 of them, and they're not just in planning and development, they're also in front of transportation, public health, and housing. But the brunt of them are in front of planning and development. And I've been speaking about these zoning bills. I have been trying to inform everyone about the language in the bills. And I'm just very grateful for everyone who came out, because you guys clearly care about the legislation that's being contemplated in Hartford. What I wanted to say about the one-party rule is sometimes it feels discouraging that, just the system against us. It's like David and Goliath. But our entire government, whether it's one party or two party, and many of us can be unaffiliated, is ultimately consent by the governed. So there is a whole other group called the people, which is us, that has every right to have your voice be heard. And you are the ultimate checks on the power. Yes, it would be nice to have two parties that duke it out there, but if that's not happening, it is completely within your right, and it is actually our jobs to be assertive. That is a critical part of citizens. Yeah, exactly, thank you. Go freedom. For us to be assertive in how we want to be governed. So please, thank you so much. Please keep spreading the word on these bills. And I would say one of the most critical parts of these bills is that it looks to diminish and reduce, almost, make inconsequential your local voices. And that will happen in many of their ideas, whether it literally gets rid of public hearings or whether it gives these developers more as-of-right privileges. Ultimately, making Connecticut affordable for everyone is what we aspire to. It's what we want. It's just a question of, does this get us there? And with our common sense, looking at these bills, we can say, I don't see how it works. We have a right to ask very simple questions, very basic questions, and we should keep challenging their premises. And with all of their great intentions, we too have great intentions also. And we want affordability in our state, and we want laws that are accountable and really work towards getting to those goals of being affordable. And we've looked at these laws. You guys have read these laws. They are not about making more housing affordable. It is about a state grab of local control, and we don't want that. So thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Kim and Stephen. Very inspiring. You guys are great leaders for our communities. So if you have a few minutes, let's take to the street, hold up some signs, and get the word out that zoning has to be within our control. Let's do it.
All right.